Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first of two live broadcasts. This one is kind of open to the general public. And for those of you that are my students, I've also sent out a little notice about my mastermind session at 1 o'clock that I've opened up to just about anybody. So I want to welcome all of you. And that's something that I don't normally do. So first and foremost, let me take a look and see who's here. Now, if any of you have any questions, please type them in the chat window, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to make things easier for all of you. Now, the secret to making consistent sales on LinkedIn and Facebook is to stop selling. Instead of pushing for the sale when you're connected to a prospect, ask your prospect questions to learn more about them. Respond to their answers and help your prospect talk more about their problems so you can show them that you've got a solution to their problem. Is it really that simple? The answer is yes. Now, I guarantee that when you devote some time to building your business on LinkedIn, it will become your favorite social network. But I got to warn you, if you think you're addicted to being on Facebook, you're going to find LinkedIn to be even more addicting. Think about it. A social network with 980 million professionals. Better than Facebook, better than Instagram, better than YouTube, and it's certainly better than Twitter, although it's not called Twitter anymore. LinkedIn is going to be your favorite social network. However, if you're not having the results you want, the reasons are easy to identify and simple to fix. The contents of your profile and visibility of your activity is one problem. The people that you're trying to talk to, another problem. What you're saying to people, third problem. You're introducing your business too soon, or you're not qualifying your prospects. These are the 5 reasons that you won't have success. Yesterday, I had a group of people that I was working with, and I needed, this was an advanced class, and I'm going through the conversations, and I got to a point in time where I just blew up. It doesn't happen very often, but when I see that someone is just flat out not doing what they're supposed to do, not sending the right messages, I provide my students with proven scripts that work. And I'm going into conversation after conversation. And not only are they modifying them, but all of a sudden they're just flat out, boom, pitch in the pit. I don't know where these pictures are coming from. I ended up having to apologize to them at the end because, man, I just lost it. I said, what are you paying for? Okay? I am giving you a roadmap from A to Z. Follow it, and you're on your way to having outrageous success. Deviate from any of these things. Hey, it's not my fault. Not my fault. So let's start out by asking you a question. How big is your business right now? How many customers do you have in your business? How many distributors do you have in your business? How many business builders do you have? More importantly, how big would you like it to be in 90 days? Let's go beyond 90 days. Let's see, how big would you like your business to be by New Year's Eve? Do you have a number? Do you have a goal? How fast your business is going to grow in the next 90 days is going to be determined by 4 things. The number of people that you talk to about your business in the next 90 days. You know, that reminds me of a quote that I heard when I first got into network marketing. Where you are today, right now, at this point in time, is the result of the people that you've met, the people that you've talked to, the people you hung out with over the last 5 years. Where you're going to be 5 years from now is going to be determined by the number of people you meet, the number of people you talk to, and the number of people you hang around with over the next 5 years. Where you're going to be in 90 days, shorter period of time, is going to be determined by the number of people that you talk to about your business, the number of people that you enroll, and the number of people. That's an example. That's my ringtone. It's an example of attraction marketing. The number of people that the people you enroll bring into your business, and what you do to ensure maximum duplication and team growth. That's it right there. Right there. I'm giving you the roadmap. I'm giving you the formula. I'm giving you the scripts. So the question is, what will you be doing in 90 days? Thanksgiving? New Year's Eve? You're going to be doing a happy dance because your life has turned around, because your business is growing, the duplication is just driving you towards your goals even faster. You're going to be celebrating, or you're going to be having a pity party. It entirely is up to you. And during these sessions today, when I log into some accounts and we look at some examples of conversations that people are having, you'll see the people that are doing it right, and you'll see the people that aren't. Sunday night, I'm going to be doing a special broadcast, 9 o'clock. How to enroll the best prospects for your business on LinkedIn and Facebook. So maxnygaard.com/social selling. What we're going to do is we're going to pour gasoline on whatever fires that you've set for yourself. All right. It's going to literally enable you to go faster. Now, LinkedIn and Facebook have changed. They're always changing. They're always adding new features. They're always adding new applications. And now, as a result of some of the things that are happening around both of these social networks, they're on fire. LinkedIn is no longer a secret, and that's probably one of the problems. Millions of professionals are rushing to join LinkedIn for the easy, direct access to other members. The marketing activity of many of them that violate LinkedIn's terms of service have forced LinkedIn to make significant changes to the way you connect and communicate with others. It's changing. And if you want to avoid trying to log into your LinkedIn account one morning and you find out they've turned it off, you better tune in on Sunday night. They're talking about verifications. And oops. This isn't supposed to be here. Okay, so the bottom line is the past doesn't equal the future. You can do more business in the next 4 months than you've done in the last 8. And you can make 2023 your best year. My formula works on every social network. Create a page, connect with people, communicate with them, and close them. 4 C's can equal 6- and 7-figure incomes. Behind the success of the top earning affiliate and network marketers in every business. Now, everyone on LinkedIn and Facebook created their profiles for a reason. So we can pick out the people that would clearly be interested in what you're doing. But they've got to be active, and LinkedIn's going to make it easy to pick out the people that you want to talk to. How selective you are about who you talk to is going to determine how successful you're going to be. So over the last 7 or 8 months, we've been talking about checking the activity of people. Let me just take a look and see who's here. Because if you're trying to reach out to people that are not active, you're wasting your time. And the only way you could check on activity until recently is checking to see if they posted anything, which made Sales Navigator a terrific tool. Today, they've added other things that you can check on. So we only want to reach out to people that are active. We only want to reach out to people that we have a clear idea of whether or not they would be prospects for your business. So LinkedIn and Facebook are the 2 best social networks to build your business on because they provide you with the easiest direct access to the most people. 980 million professional users on Facebook. I'm sorry. LinkedIn has 980 million professional users and Facebook is up to 2.99 billion members, but LinkedIn is the best. The absolute best. So let me look in the chat window. Okay. Okay, Debbie. Veronica hasn't answered you yet. People have things going on in their lives. We all do. So when we're talking to people and we think they're hot, and we want to be sending them something every day, if they don't answer our message, send them a motivating gift. Remind them that you're there. Brittany will look at during the mastermind session. Let me go over here. All right, I unmuted Caroline.
Good morning.
Good morning. Caroline, what network marketing business are you promoting?
Uh, Good question. I think maybe I'm just gonna use it for Melaleuca. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
sure. Oh, I'm in two.
All right. Well, that's the reason I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Okay, because Melaleuca has been in business for how long? Do you know?
37 years?
There you go. Been in business for 37 years. Now, in 37 years, it's only been the last 7 years that they have become a social media friendly company. They used to forbid people from building their business on a social network. You're not supposed to use the name of the company. You're not supposed to be putting products out there. I've been working with corporate directors, top earners in the companies for over 20 years. They're my friends. And they all recognize the power of social networks, especially Facebook and now LinkedIn. But the company has very, very strict rules about what they call posts, call to action posts. All right. As a matter of fact, I helped a woman make senior director in 30 days. It was about 7 years ago. She'd been in the company for, I guess, maybe 5 years. She made director 2. Her second year, she'd been in a party plan company. And then basically she was stagnant. Nothing happened. Her husband was really giving her a hard time. So her motivation was the company had a contest. If you hit senior director by New Year's Eve, I'm sorry, by Christmas Eve, there was a $10,000 bonus. I'd say that's a pretty significant why. So she was in my October boot camp. November, she wanted me to train her. She jumped into my coaching program. Now, when I work with people one-on-one, things happen fast, but I told her, hitting senior director in really what amounts to 45 days is going to take you more than an hour or two a day. Might take you 12, might take you 14 hours. But she was relentless. She was motivated. She used to tell everybody during our Ask Max sessions when she'd dial in, I'm going to get that money and I'm going to get that check and I'm going to put it in an envelope and I'm going to go to my husband and I'm going to say, so here. Because for her, it was going to be a big I told you so. Aren't they great? Aren't I told you so is wonderful when you can go to a spouse that's been giving you a hard time about being in network marketing, that's been totally unsupportive. Okay, so maybe you've been in 3 or 4 different companies and you've just failed miserably in all of them, but you keep trying. Why? Because you know it's real, that you're surrounded by people that are having outrageous success. In some cases, you're looking at your upline, somebody that's making 5, 6, 7 figures, and you're looking at them and you look at their background and saying, if this person can do it, I can do it too. Well, the thing is, it's true, but they know things that you don't, right? So she did it. And she called in during one of our Ask Max sessions to announce, I did it. The company called me. They're sending me a check for $10,000. She was in tears. In fact, we used that as a testimonial of success for about 5 or 6 months. And then we took it off because what was happening was everybody in the company was reaching out to, how you doing? They were literally interfering with her ability to build a business. And, I told her, I said, listen, give them half. But ever since then, my boot camps have been filling up with Melaleuca folks. I just want to say that there are people here that are working with other companies. Right now, there's 11 different companies being represented here. Doesn't matter what you're selling. If you have any clue as to who the person is on the other end, that would be interested in your product or service, you can do it on here. Now, Melaleuca has a policy about call to action posts. So when you say to somebody, I'm ready, let me pull up your wording exactly.
It was on Facebook.
And I'm just going to take it from what you typed. Okay. So when you say, I'm ready to help 5 people quit their full-time job with their own internet business. Now, that is not a call to action post. That's a statement of condition. If you said, I'm looking to help 5 people quit their full-time job, that's call to action. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
All right. Anyway, I was on the phone with the corporate, Eddie Vistoso got me on the phone with 2 of their corporate lawyers, and we went over the whole posting thing. Okay. And, you know, they were going, that's a call to action. So no, it's not. It's a statement of condition. So I said, so to make it clear, I said, so if I posted Gettysburg Address, is that a call to action? I mean, I have 14 people that liked it, responded to it. It's a call to action? No. It's a posting the Gettysburg Address. If I post a motivating quote up there, is that a call to action? No. It's me putting something out there that people can respond to, changing your picture. Is that a call to action? Of course not. But if you say, I am looking to help 5 people quit their full-time job with their own internet business, number 1, it's a call to action. And number 2, and this is very important, you really want to be very selective about who you talk to in regards to a post like that. Number 1, you can't make income claims. So when you use the project launch script, hey, I'm ready to help. I'm about to launch a special project. Help 2 people go to the top of my company in the next 90 days. Is that a call to action? No, it's a statement of condition. However, if you're going to talk about numbers, for example, in Isogenics, if you bring in 2 people a week, which is possible, and you help those people bring in 2, and you did it on a consistent basis, at the end of a month, you would have recruited 8 people. And conceivably, those 8 people would have brought in 2 each, so that's 16 people, or you would have brought in 24 people into your business in 1 month. And when they did that, if they bought a certain package, person could make $5,000. And if you did it correctly, there's an extra, I think, $800 or $900 when you help multiple people sign up in the same week. Now, if you said, I'm ready to help 2 people earn $15,000 in the next 90 days, then you better be talking to somebody that has the potential to do it. You're just better off in many cases. It depends on who you talk to. It's not like you're going to bring that up in the initial conversation. We're not posting that script for people to see. We're using it during the course of a conversation when we've qualified. So the project launch script is not posted. It's used during a specific conversation with people that you have a pretty good idea would be able to make it happen. But you don't necessarily have to, there's so many other things that you could post besides that. And this only relates to Melaleuca because, you know, if there was somebody in the company, remember, I got to choose my words carefully here. You're all in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. But the truth is that everybody else in your company that's not on your team or that's not in your organization is your competition. You're all trying to reach out and fish in the same pool. When we go online and we do a search for people that are looking for an opportunity and they used to work for Bed Bath & Beyond, there's 57,000 people on there. The likelihood that other people in your company have reached out to these people is pretty good. So it's all about the relationship that you build with people. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is because your competition's on there. And if your competition saw something that you did that was in violation of the company policies, they report you to the company. It created all kinds of issues. Your companies are on there already looking for things that people that are doing the wrong things. And believe me, if you see someone in your company that's that's doing something wrong or something bad, do them a favor. Hey, listen, that's a violation of the company's terms of service. I'm being nice and I'm letting you know. Okay. But if I share this with the company, will jeopardize your standing with the company. You're not trying to be a policeman, but you've got to protect your company. Okay. But, really, you see people that are doing things. Just like on LinkedIn, you see people that are creating all of these bogus profiles. Initially, we told everybody, ignore them, delete them. They're coming on LinkedIn in such numbers that now we're suggesting to everybody, report them. Report them. Be a good LinkedIn citizen. Okay, so that's in regard to posting. I mean, think about it. If you just change your picture on Facebook, you get all kinds of people that react and respond to that. Now over here, let me unmute Michael. Hey, good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was talking to Callie about this new business that you're in. And
Yes.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you're going to find when you go out and look to connect with restaurant owners, you're going to find a lot of restaurant owners have LinkedIn profiles, but they're not active.
Yes, I found that out.
Right. And the reason is that somebody told them about LinkedIn. It was like an online business card. They put it out there. And, they haven't been back. I was working with someone that was also approaching restaurant owners because they have that tax thing where, if you had a business and you were and you paid your people during COVID, you were up to you could potentially get $26,000 per employee if you stayed open. So there's all kinds of people out there doing that. And I was working with somebody that was trying to do that. But when they reached out to restaurant owners and got millions, but then when you look at their activity, there's no activity. So I pointed out to them, and I'll point it out to you. you want to get to the owner because the owner is the one that's going to decide whether or not this is a good deal. So what you look for is you look for restaurant managers.
Because they have the ears of the owner.
Well, right. So if you go over here and you did a search for restaurant, people in the restaurant field, you got 5,650,000 people. Now here you got a restaurant general manager. And the same concept applies if you were looking for unhappy network marketers. Somebody asked me, how did Francisco recruit last summer that network marketer who had 600,000 people in his organization? How did Francisco ever get to this guy? He didn't. Francisco is making friends with other network marketers. He's giving them social media advice. They look up to him because he's sharing things on a regular basis. And one day, somebody reacted to one of his posts. He sent him a message, how are things going? She comes back and she said, oh, things aren't going so well. They're making some very unpopular changes in the company. And I think we may all be going someplace else. What kind of changes? I'm not really up to it. I'm just getting this feedback from my upline. So she liked Francisco. Francisco had helped her out, given her some suggestions. She said, would you mind? I'd really like to talk to this guy because I might have some helpful suggestions for him. She was thrilled. So she contacted him, made the introduction. Barry, I'd like to introduce you to somebody that's been helping me with social media. And I was talking to him and told him what we're going through, and he'd like to talk to you and make some suggestions. He's really a great guy. So that's how he got to the top guy. Now, there's nothing exceptional on Francisco's page about his social media prowess. So he's talking to the fellow. And he says, introduce himself. He says, I am a master at social media marketing. He says, I've studied it for years. I'm the protege of one of the top guys in the industry. Actually, he said the top guy. And sometimes they don't even have to mention their name. But to demonstrate his prowess, his pure understanding of how social media works. He says, go on Facebook. And the guy was not very active on Facebook. These people won't be. That restaurant manager you're talking to will have a better chance of being active than the owner. So go over on Facebook, change your picture on Facebook, watch what happens. The guy was so impressed that he was open to looking at Francisco's company. And then it was a matter of introduction. He got some of his upline leaders involved in the thing. And here's something, we talk about this in the retreat. Just because someone introduces someone to the business, and we're talking, this is advanced stuff, okay? I mean, if you're talking to somebody and they're interested in the products, it's you, them, and the products. They take the products, they like the products. But if you're talking to somebody that's looking for business opportunity, and they like the products, you also have to demonstrate to them as to why, if I was going to jump into a business with somebody, why would I get into business with you? How are you going to help me? What are you going to do for me? This is where you think in terms of shopping for a sponsor. So you want to put yourself out there as somebody that is knowledgeable, somebody that's capable, somebody that's successful. Amway has this philosophy for years, fake it till you make it. Okay? Fake it till you make it. So you can project yourself on a social network as someone that is happy and successful before theoretically you are successful. You're happy because you have the product. You're not searching for an opportunity. You got the opportunity. And you have a proven method of doing it. So it's just a matter of time. You talk to enough people, yeah, you're going to make it to the top of your company. People that are far less experienced and far less intelligent than you have done it. So you're all going to do it too. So when you were reaching out to those managers, and it doesn't have to be a manager, it could be a hostess, it could be a waiter. It's all about the connection that you make with this other person.
Is that gonna get me to the decision maker, right?
Well, it can get you to the decision maker because it would be a feather in their cap if they hooked the decision maker up with you and you showed them how, you know, he had 50 employees. They kept open 50 times $26,000. That's a lot of money. And again, we come into another issue. Why should the owner, after they've connected with you, now you're making them aware of this program, they're going to go to their CPA, they're going to go to their accountant. Is this thing legit? Is it real? CPAs and accountants, you know, have a tendency to poo-poo it because for all kinds of different reasons. That doesn't mean it's not legitimate. So as you're building a relationship, you have to let the person know that you're going to show them how to do this. If they're looking to build a network marketing business, what worked for Francisco was Francisco said, look, I can show you how we can teach all of the people that are in your organization how to build the business on Facebook and LinkedIn. That gave Francisco power. And all he had to do was tell everybody, change your picture, see what happens. I'll tell you what to say, but just change your picture. We're talking about immediate results. So this is a process that all of you are going to go through. If you can't get to the top guy, and in many cases you won't, but you can get to someone who likes you, who can then bring you to the top guy. If you turn around and look at, in fact, if I come over here, you bring up Francisco. I helped Francisco 21 years ago when he was building a prepaid legal business. So I got this from him at this past March. I'm living that network marketing dream that everyone dreams about. Thanks to what you taught me. The whale. The whale that I enrolled in my business in December. This was a network marketer that had 200,000 people in his organization. Added 80,000 people to my team by February. Helping to bring the size of my team up to 500,000 people. Everyone is highly motivated, excited because your strategies and scripts are helping almost everyone experience faster results than they've ever expected. And all of my leaders, as well as everyone that aspires to be a leader, are following the steps in your 90-day game plan. You are the undisputed top social networking trainer in the network marketing industry, and I'll forever be grateful that we connected. Everyone on my team loves me, not Max. They love Francisco. because he's teaching them what I taught him. And we can go back, he's sending me quarterly reports, monthly reports. My team grew to 400,000 people by the end of the year. He's got 30 whales in his team. He brought in a whale with 200,000 people, but he decided to do it the following year. Celebrated my 48th birthday. Speaking about birthdays, my real birthday's on the 17th, and we're going to be doing some things to celebrate it. So for those of you that are students, check your mail, but it's all right here. My business grew from 72,000 motivated team members in August to 300 members in the last 2 months. Because this whale that he enrolled added 200,000 people to his business. The strategies and scripts that you're learning work for everyone. And at the end of the day, it's all about talking to people. So, Michael, you go after people. Let's look and see. Here's the thing. So I got this is a project specialist. He's on my 3rd level. No, hello. How are you? Nice to meet you. What do you do? Is there something that I can help you with? All right, so who is this guy? And he is in India. Very, very sketchy information. And again, this is one of the reasons why LinkedIn is really starting to tighten things up. They have to. Every day you can check your network. Go to celebrations. See who. John, you see what we did here? Let me unmute John. So just by making that one change, okay, now everybody that's connected to you is going to see that 22 hours ago you started a new position. You didn't start the new position, you just restated it, and you've already had 5 people that reacted to it. So the things that we did, this is under job changes. Let's go over here to work anniversaries, because maybe, whoops. Now, when this happens, let's go back to work anniversaries. Refresh. LinkedIn is completely overwhelmed. So this isn't showing up yet. We go over to birthdays. Well, we left your birthday alone because your birthday was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But this gives you 3 opportunities, to start to get conversations rolling with people that, in some cases, you're already connected to these people. Of course, you're just coming back into it. But if we pop out of my account, jump into yours, there is always going to be activity. So if we look at your network, so here's somebody. So this person would like to add you to her network.
Well, she had an interesting LinkedIn post. So I took a picture of it with my phone and then I answered one of her poll questions because I was like, huh, how interesting. I can't wait to see what I get from her after I have voted, expecting something like this. And then like, okay, well, then there we go. Kind of neat.
Okay, so all right, so let's accept that. So now the basics, we would send her the icebreaker. Hey, it's nice to connect with you. I've made some wonderful new friends. The icebreaker, which you could send out to a lot of people, would be, how long have you been on LinkedIn and how's it working for you? Now she's in England, so she's 6 hours ahead of me. 'Cause I'm on the East Coast. Time difference. So you come down here and you look. So she's been a transformational coach. Now, if let's look, you always want to look at everything. All right, so she was in the hotel business. And that is a tough business. And most of the time it doesn't pay well. Food and beverage assistant, assistant general manager, gets a bachelor in hotel management, assistant manager, and then house manager. And now she's a director of this company. We don't know what it is. And now she is a transformational coach. So she doesn't show a need, but a simple way to start a conversation with somebody like this would be, and again, you reacted to something that she did on her post. So the question is, what prompted her to go from working in the hotel business to becoming a fitness coach? Now, what was the reason behind that? Now you can't ask her, so how's business? Because they're all going to tell you that business is great because they want to sell you on their deal. But a script that you can use, it's natural, it's not salesy, it's not pushy, would be, Alexandra, most of the fitness coaches, now you can do it subtle by saying most of the fitness coaches that I've met on LinkedIn are all working with a network marketing company to generate an additional stream of residual income on the side. What network marketing companies have you worked with? Or what network marketing company are you working with now? Or a little stronger, most of the fitness professionals that I'm currently working with have all worked with a network marketing company to generate an additional stream of income. The questions would be, what company are you working with now? What companies have you worked with in the past? Or possibly, what experience have you had with a network marketing business model? And whenever you ask that question, because a lot of times people online don't equate network marketing with their Amway experience or their Nu Skin experience or their Mary Kay experience, which is more of a direct sales thing. They think networks, computer networks, marketing, paying for leads, advertising. So when you ask the question, if they come back and they say, I don't really have any experience, then you have to come back, and we're going to be doing this together. We ask the questions. When I use the expression network marketing, I'm referring to companies like Amway, Mary Kay, because you want to know. Once you know what their experience is, then you know how to proceed forward. If somebody had a bad experience, would mean they've got a negative opinion about network marketing. It's understandable. How long ago were you in the company? 7 or 8 years ago. You all are going to run into people, for those of you that are in Melaleuca, you're going to run into people that were in Melaleuca 10, 15 years ago. They may still be taking the products. They stopped building the business because the whole business opportunity was based around going after your friends. You stop wanting to pester your friends. Some people will continue to take the products. Others just quit. I have, I think, 8 or 9 different case studies of people in Melaleuca who re-enrolled people in Melaleuca that were in Melaleuca before. They liked the products, but there was no way for them to build the business. So when we're talking to somebody that there's no clear need, you can still bring it up. The question is, how soon in the relationship, in the conversation, do you bring it up? You don't want to bring it up right away. There are other questions that you want to get the answers to. Why did you do this? What are some of the other things that they've done? What do they like? What prompted them to do this? What do they like doing? You're looking for people. If you're looking for the cream of the crop of prospects, you're looking for somebody that likes to sell, or certainly isn't intimidated or afraid of selling. And, for those of you that are out there that don't like to sell, you got to get over that. You got to get over that. Everybody sells. Everybody sells. You want your spouse to take you to do something, you're selling. But you know who you're dealing with. Sales is not difficult. It's a matter of personal enthusiasm for what it is and some product knowledge, period. You find out where the other person is, you know whether you want to proceed or not. Somebody had a bad experience in network marketing. Okay. Listen, there's a lot of people out there that have a bad experience. We have an example, a case study where someone was talking to somebody, they connected in November. We revealed it in the August boot camp. We're going to talk about it in the September boot camp. connected person was a phenomenal network marketing prospect. We find out almost right away, he tried over 5 network marketing companies previously, quit all of them, swore he'd never do another one. 8 months later, he's signing up in my student's business. And the thing, and I'm going to come back to something, Debbie, that you made reference to. You got to have patience. Every time you make a connection and they're added to your prospect list, the relationship is going to build, it's going to evolve over their reactions to your post, their reactions to things that you've done, your reactions to things that they've done. Somebody that turned down network marketing 7 straight months ended up getting into my student's business. And from what I understand, they're doing great. But the guy had unbelievably great credentials. So we're making the connections every day. When you hear stories, someone comes on and said, oh, I signed up 5 people last week. It wasn't like they jumped on here for the first time, reached out to somebody, bada bing, bada boom, sign up. No, this is a relationship building process, primarily because you have all of these scammers. I mean, we could go over here to okay, so this is John's network. If we come over here and look at some of these people, so now the deal is people follow you first, and then they invite you to connect. All right, so then you come across somebody like this. So she's with the Careless Company. She's in India. She's a web developer. All right, so as a web developer, she's worked here for 2 years. Wonderful. What did you, well, so she's been doing it for 6 years. Now, as a web developer, you have a lot of technical skills, but do you have the people skills? Do you have the personality? So she designs websites. Now, one of the reasons why, and in many cases, the only reason that you'd want to be connected to her is because she's got 87 connections. Now, when you accept her, you're hiding your connections. Right? So here. Now, strategy that you would use here, we just accept her. So we send the second, hey, it's nice to be connected on LinkedIn. I've made some, wonderful new friends. I keep in mind that if you look at her 87 connections, and you can see all of them, most likely all of those people are prospects that she was going after. So those people would be on your second level. The thing is, she's not hiding her, so you could see all of her connections. Whether or not you'd want to be connected to them, depending upon what her connections did. Okay, so we're having a conversation with Poonam. So Poonam, tell me, I've always been, and flattery, compliments, pay outrageous dividends. Poonan, it's nice to be connected to you. You know, I've always admired people that could do what you do. I'm not technically challenged. So what prompted you to get into this kind of work? How's it doing? How are you doing with it? Now, and easy, you know, and so the average network marketer would reach out to her before they even knew if there was a need with something like, hey, you know, Poonan, would you be interested in making an extra $500 or $1,000 a week working with me if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? She's going to get that stuff all the time. Your approach would be, so she does all this web stuff. So in all the 6 years, Poonan, have you ever worked with anybody that's a network marketer? Have you worked for any, design any websites or anything like that? Probably going to say no. Maybe she might say yes. And if we're going to introduce the opportunity of working with somebody like this, you know, it would be many of the network, many of the web developers that I work with are generating a side income that's residual working with a network marketing company. What network marketing companies have you worked with? A lot of web designers have worked with network marketers. A lot of dentists, you know, it's such an easy way to do it. And it doesn't, and you don't come across like you're in sales. Of course, the other thing you have to realize is, you know, does your company do business in India? Does your company support distributors over there? There's no shortage of people for you all to reach out and connect with. It all comes down, you know, to the story you're telling. So yesterday, what did we do? We looked at your profile. We changed something. I was hoping you would do that, because the guy that you were talking to was a prospect for your other business. So all you had to do is switch. That's all you had to do. And yeah, we still.
And you know, Max, that guy, we had sent our last message there. And you know, it started off with the like, hey, what do you do there? You know, it's nice to be connected and blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And so you remember he came back and he answered all of that, right? And then at the end, after telling me,
This was him,
yeah,
right?
Andy right there. So then he's like, great, very, very busy. Jan, what do you do? I was like, this is just so textbook. Like I've seen you do this over and over in boot camp, and then I watched it happen like right before my eyes.
Right. And so now we, you know, again, we have to craft the answer, you know. So we talk about all the things that you're doing in the construction field, which he could very much be interested in. But then we're going to add that little caveat, which is I also have a fast-growing internet business. Now you could just stop there, and they're going to want to, well, really, what kind of an internet business? We could put a little icing on it. And I've got a fast-growing internet business. I've got an internet business that's growing so fast because people today, more people than ever before, wanted to generate residual income, you know, income remotely from home. But whatever you say, it's going to make him curious to come back. Really, what kind of a business is it? Now, you know, hey, listen, I'd be delighted to tell you all about it. what do you know about the network marketing business model? He may come back and say, network marketing, I don't know anything about it. But when I use the term network marketing, I'm referring to companies like Amway, Mary Kay. We're not afraid of that question because we're not trying to sell them anything. Now, John here has hired people. For those of you that have ever hired someone, you know what you're looking for. And the more selective you are about who you talk to, the more selective you are about the people that you ultimately choose to work with. Now, just because he's asking John, what does John do? Doesn't mean he's interested in what John does. He's just being polite. Just being polite. And especially when you're talking to people that don't know you and they're trying to start a conversation, they don't know what to say. So what do? And just the most important thing for all of you is this. Before you talk about your business, you have to know if there's a need. You have to know what their network marketing experience is. Why? So that you'll know how to explain it to them. And if somebody does have a negative attitude about network marketing, it's very possibly based on a negative experience. So they're justified in feeling bad about it, but it doesn't mean that just because they have a negative attitude about it. A lot of people have negative attitudes about it. And then we've got that feel, felt, sound strategy. I know how you feel. I used to feel that same way about network marketing. I burned out working with 4 or 5 different companies. I got to a point in time where I didn't have any friends, to even go to and talk to about it. Couldn't do it anymore. And then one day a good friend told me about a company that had products that I could get excited about, where I didn't have to chase my friends. They had an online system where I could meet people and build the business without chasing my family, without chasing my friends, without spending an arm and a leg on buying leads. And when he told me about it, and I'm so glad he did, because when I jumped into this business, since jumping into this business, I've been able to accomplish all the goals that I had set and all these other companies, but was never able to do it. And I'm so glad I did. So instead of trying to sell them on your business, you take the high road. Look, Paul, I'm not trying to convince you that network marketing is legitimate. I'm not trying to convince you that this is for you. No. But I like helping people. And so anytime that I can educate someone as to how network marketing really works and turn the light on, whether you got involved in me and my company, or whether you found a company out there that you could get excited about, then I've done my good deed for today. So bottom line is, network marketing offers people a solution to launch a legitimate business, generate unlimited income. But in order to be successful, we got those 3 things. You got to be this, 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 and this. So if you couldn't get excited about my company, then find a company that you can get excited about, because it's going to be life-changing. So if you come back to me 6 months from now and you say, Max, this is Paul, you opened up my eyes to the legitimacy of network marketing. I will owe you a debt of gratitude forever. I found the company. I'm working, my life is changing. I'm surrounded by great friends, blah, 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 blah. Thank you very, very much. That was your good deed for the day. Some of those people will actually end up coming back and getting into your business. but you take the high road. You're not trying to push something down somebody's throat. You're looking to see if there's an opportunity to work with them. And if yes, we've got the scripts to show you how to do it. If no, no. You've got too many other people to talk to. Now we got a bunch of folks here that are in boot camp, but nobody's asking me any questions. Now I sent out an email with today's email went out with a link to a mastermind session that is normally reserved for coaching students, where we jump in and we deal with profile questions, recruiting questions. It was on the email that I sent out earlier, so you all have it. And I encourage you, it's going to run for about an hour and a half. We do, and normally they're limited to coaching students, but it's the start of a boot camp. And some of you will get a little bit of a quicker start. Everybody moves through this process at their own pace. Some folks that are computer challenged are in 3 or 4 boot camps, learning as they go. Every day they learn another piece of knowledge that amounts to what's going to be the foundation for your future success in social media. All right. Every one of you here has the opportunity to build a huge business. You got to be passionate about the products, passionate to the point where you would tell people about them even if you weren't getting paid. Then we have to show the business to them. And then when they decide that they want to get into the business, you want to help them achieve success quickly. Otherwise, you're just a salesperson. You bring somebody into the business in September, you want to make sure that they're in the business in January or February. Otherwise, you're just an online, salesperson. All right? If I go over here, whoops, I'm way over. Let me log out of my account. Come back over. And I'm just going to do this for another 5 minutes, and then I'll be back at 1 o'clock. For those of you that are in boot camp, you should have already sent me links to your profiles, or we should already be connected. Let me come down here and look at Carrie. Okay, so Carrie, so you're just getting started. Okay, we're making connections. But yeah. So you work for Mercedes, and here you've got your other network marketing experience. So this needs, well, you're just getting started, so. Well, you have a 45-year history Now what I'll do, let me end this. I'll give you a quick call. And otherwise, we'll see all of you or some of you at 1 o'clock. Okay. Again, it all comes down to conversation, but it all comes down to talking to the right people. You're all on your way to having outrageous success in your business.